So all these cognitive dissonance, these ideas, what do we do? For assuming, I told you simply have to ask. आपको बुरा लग रहा है मैंने ये किया है? The other person says नहीं. So then don't think beyond that. Tell yourself उसको बुरा नहीं लग रहा. चाहे उसने attitude भी दिया है, tell yourself because the person said no, so that's the reality. What it's going to do is give you a better emotional consequence. But if it generates another thought, ये ऐसे ही बोल रही है. But inside she is like that. Tell yourself, I'm not responsible for the inside. That is between her or him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like even sometimes mothers come to me and tell me, मेरा बच्चा जान के नहीं पढ़ता. जान के नहीं पढ़ता. This is an error, thought error. Because sometimes when I talk to children, they say, I don't understand the concept. Dekhen ji, he goes to school every day. It's a simple concept. He must understand. No, he doesn't. All kids are different. Sometimes teachers would say, oh, I have explained, there are 30 kids in my class. I have explained this concept to all of them. They understand it. Why doesn't he understand? But this is a different kid. That's your challenge. Don't assume that others would understand or others are lying. Then, when we talk about shoulds, lower your demands. My son should excel. My husband should bring me flowers every day. Should tell me how much he loves me. Should. उसको ऐसे करना चाहिए, उसको ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए ना. Lower your demands. Because everything, every should, you will get in Jannah, inshallah. When you aim for that. Even beyond that should you will get. We can't even comprehend we are going to get. But not in this life. You have to lower your demands. Then, the fantasy world, have realistic expectation. Okay, this is a kid who's very organized, is going to clean up the room, will never be messy. But this is one kid I have to keep working on without making a comparison. My realistic expectation tells me, my husband, when he comes home, he'll always first go and see his parents. My realistic expectation tells me, what I've seen with my husband is, when he comes home, like on Sunday or weekend, he likes to have 2 hours of his own activity. Let me just accept that. Rather than spoil 30 years of my marriage. Unless it's a major challenge, well, then you have to see the experts and take advice from them. Then, for all and none, again, the realistic targets. You need to have, for overgeneralization, healthy optimism. Don't be overly optimistic about everything. Thinking you will get whatever you want. Like your kid be doing something really wrong and you're saying, मेरा बच्चा मासूम है. वो जो late night sitting with his computer, laptop, is working on assignment. I can tell you what kind of assignment he's working on. So don't be overly optimistic, but yes, realistically optimistic about different situations. Like there is hope for my kids. If he or she is not doing something, will inshallah get better with time. Okay, if I don't get the result in this life, inshallah if I keep working, that is the only thing in my control. Allah is going to reward me. Inshallah. Allah will add barakah to this. Allah is going to give me abundantly in this life and akhirah if I do sabr, if I do shukr. There's so many parameters that have been given to us. Labeling. For labeling, what you do is you provide solutions. As I just told you about the story of a mother who was constantly trying to fix her child by repeatedly telling him that you are lying, you are lying, you are lying. Rather than that, provide solutions. And each situation is going to be different. When you dwell so much on the negative, for that, what you have to do is have gratitude in your life. Whenever you think of something which is not happening right, you think of something which is happening right. Because if one door is closed, there are 100 doors which are open. But we don't actually think about them. And yes, for comparisons, what you need to do is you enjoy diversity. You have to enjoy. All kids are different. Our families are different. Every person is different, and that is what we need to learn in life. No two people are having totally 100% similar traits. So this is like a very, very important aspect to understand. What we need to understand when we are coming towards the very end is working on your thoughts. Please work on your thoughts so that you get the right results. Unless you work on your thoughts, you are going to be in great difficulty. And I'll finish off my talk by talking about the great mothers of all times. And who are these mothers? The mother of Imam Malik, rahmatullah alayh, what she did was, he had a beautiful voice. The mother recognized that he was talented, he had the potential. She taught him, use this voice to be on the right path rather than going towards fame. She mentored him. She found him the right teachers who could teach him the right use of that voice. She taught him the manners, the adab, and she worked on his interest in learning. And look where he was. And till today, what impact we have from him in our life. Imam Shafi'i, rahmatullah alayhi's mom, she was a visionary mom. She wanted and made sure that her son was exemplary student. So what she did was, she realized her son had remarkable memory. So she invested in his memory. At the very same time, we find out she lived with very scanty resources. She was hardly able to have enough money to survive on daily basis, but she invested in the right education for her son. Imam Ahmad rahmatullah alayhi's mother, she would always give him nasiha here and there. Small impactful messages, and always taught him the practical aspects of life. What to do, where, when, how, with hikmah, with wisdom. Abu Sufyan's mother, she connected his knowledge, what he learned, to his practices. All the time she would be making that connection. Because the moment you find out these small parameters that I've shared about these mothers with you, I'm pretty sure the first impact that would come to your mind is, they didn't live with any of those cognitive errors, these thought process. Because if we live with those thought process, we will not be able to achieve anything. So what we need to do is rethink about our purpose of life. Be a gifted mother in such a manner that you attain Jannah for yourself and your families. What we learn from Imam Malik's mother is, use wisdom to change child's thought. That is what we need to work on. ये जो सारा दिन का हमारा जुमला होता है ना, मैं परेशान हूँ. So worried, I can't sleep, I can't think, I'm crying all the time. Work on your wisdom. Self-talk, put it aside, work on the wisdom. Learn the wisdom. Become a student of Quran and Sunnah, and that's where you will learn it. From the mother of Imam Shafi'i, rahmatullah alayh, we learn, she didn't sit at home with a victim mentality. If anyone of you feel like a victim, you have to come out of it. Otherwise, you know all the solutions, but you're not able to implement them. Whatever resources you have, that's where you have to invest. That's how you have to invest. From the mother of Imam Ahmad, we learn how to sacrifice our time, our energies to achieve the set goals. Whatever targets we have for our children, for the akhirah, we need to be continuously working towards them, taking baby steps. And from the mother of Abu Sufyan, we learn how to reflect, how to change, and how to grow. So this is something that is a thought I want to give you when we are talking about the essential etiquettes of a Muslimah. And even for the youngsters who are over here, when you're trying to work on your relationship with your families and your parents. Jazakallah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Do you want to ask any questions?
Okay, that's a very important question. The children will talk about generation gap, that you don't understand our challenges, our issues. You always need to acknowledge those things. Whenever your children come up to you and ask you कि जी हमारा तो बहुत generation gap है, तो आप कहें yes, definitely you are living in more challenging times. And then what you can do is go towards the ahadith which talk about the challenging times. Open Bukhari, Muslim, Babul Fitan, the times of trials and tribulations, and read out those ahadith to them and tell them, let's see how you can apply those ahadith in your time. That's all we have to do. What we try to usually do is again go into that cognitive dissonance and we start lecturing them. बेटा हमने सब कुछ देखा है, हमें सब कुछ पता है, तुम्हें नहीं पता, दुनिया ऐसी है, हमने सब कुछ किया है. We didn't have smartphone in our hands. We didn't have internet when we were young. We didn't have so much immodesty in the society, free mingling in the society. We didn't have junk to this extent that you can place an order and it comes to your house. So yes, times have changed. And we need to accept that and then learn to move on. So if we don't build up those walls and barriers with our children, they will be more open and receptive to listen and learn from us.
Ma'am, generation gap में question है, like आपने जो भी बताया वो parents क्या expect है. So being a child, मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ, like अगर मेरे parents acknowledge नहीं कर रहे उस generation gap को, वो understand नहीं कर रहे, तो मैं उस communication gap को कम करने के लिए
आप उस communication gap को ये करने के लिए कर सकते हैं कि first of all you have to work on your self-talk, see what things frustrate me, what thoughts frustrate me. Lower those thoughts, lower those expectations, and become an optimistic and realistic person, and then try to think of some solution. Jaise the youngsters with this generation gap can go into all or none. Either you say, okay, I listen to everything that my parents are telling me, and then you are frustrated inside. Or you go into none, I will rebel against them. And again, the relationship is not working. Overgeneralize that my parents do nothing for me, but again, you miss out on the gratitude and so many things that they're still doing for you despite the fact that you don't have a relationship with them.
Dr. Kanwal, thank you so much for this beneficial talk, and thank you so much for coming here and gracing our occasion with your presence and your beneficial knowledge.